Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this morning with Phoebe and Fred. What we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Phoebe's ability to understand and respond to her formal obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction, and the only correction that we give here at school is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Phoebe's going to come home with her very own training equipment, and you're going to be taught how to use all of that properly during your follow-up training session. Now, if you notice, she's sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash, and the command is Phoebe, heel. Now at this point, Phoebe has a job to do, and that is to stay even with your left leg when walking. And each time that you stop walking, she has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. So this makes walking your dog a pleasure, and one of our most common complaints from clients is my dog drags me on a walk. It's no fun. So we really focus a lot on this heeling exercise because we notice that people really use it. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is the one-word command to stay. The long sit stay when you're practicing at home is for 1 minute, working up to 3 minutes. This is a good exercise for helping to develop self-control. When Fred returns back to her, he's going to walk all the way around her, returning all the way back around to heel position, and that's for an additional distraction. He gets all the way back to heel, and they take off heeling again. So heeling is a position, it's also an exercise. Nice automatic sits. Those automatic sits come in really handy for you when you're walking your dog in traffic or in the city. You stopped to cross the street or talk to a neighbor. She should be sitting nicely and not jumping all over the place. Fred's going to leave her in another sit stay.
No.
Now she got up, so he said no, and he got her right up out of it, turned her around, and brings her back around to complete the exercise as it was taught. So that's what you do if your dog makes a mistake. Now this time, Fred's going to use her name, and he's going to bring her right in and have her sit in front. And this eliminates some of the jumping problems that you've been having. She's been taught to come and sit, not come and jump all over you. And as we've spoken about, you're going to get a lesson, and we're going to be, going into all of the different things that she's learned. This is just your basic on-leash obedience. Very nice. She's a sweet girl, and she's a very nice dog.
Stay.
Fred leaves her in another sit stay. When you call your dog, that's the second time she broke her stay, but it's okay. You bring her around and make her complete it. A lot of times with these real smart dogs too, that have been worked a lot, they start to anticipate the next command. Now that time she's holding her stay. Practice this right in your house. Fred's going to again call her out of that. He uses a happy voice, and she comes right in front and sits. And as badly as she might want to jump, she's not doing it. Now we're going to set up for our down commands. These are very important exercises as well, and ones that you'll use often. Now with her seated at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and use the one-word command to down and stay. Your long down stay when you're practicing at home, you're going to start out at about 1.5 minutes. You're going to walk all the way up to 5 minutes. And this is teaching her self-control, which honestly, when she got here, she didn't have a lot of. She's a sweet girl, but could get really, really rammy. When Fred returns back to her, he's going to walk all the way around her, just as he did on the sit-stay, returning all the way back around to heel position, and then she expects to get another command. And they take off heeling. Fred's going to bring her back around, and we're going to demonstrate that down again. And practicing these exercises and working along with your video really helps to tire her out and just give you generally a better behaved, well-mannered dog. Doesn't end the day she leaves here. Now Fred just dropped her basically with a hand command and a stay. And it's very important that you do lengthen out your commands. This time Fred's going to call her. And she goes back to heel and back sitting. And the very last exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is her down from a distance. So this time, Fred's going to have her sit, itchy butt, sit and stay. He's going to walk out to face her.
No. Heel.
Now she wants to come all the time. Walks out to the end of his training leash. He's going to use the right hand to give the command and drop her into a down. See, she's anticipating a lot of this and not waiting for the direction from Fred. And as Fred would say, I'll do the thinking. And sometimes that happens with these smart kids. They start running through the commands without you. Now, we've demonstrated for you all of her formal on-leash obedience commands. She's done a fabulous job. Give me a call when you know that you're going to be home and what time you're coming to get her. We've enjoyed having her, and thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.